So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gabrielsen and I'm the tiny one.
Ooh, back in the hot seat. Yup.
You ready?
Oh. Unleash the hounds.
The hound.
Yes.
We're just going to go right to it, aren't we?
Yep. Hell yeah.
It's been summer.
Yep.
And talked to a lot of friends and noticed it myself. And because today we're going to have questions from me and then a question for one of our listeners.
Yeah.
Because apparently we left a cliffhanger last
With
time.
cliffhanger.
I got yelled at. We had a message like, you can't leave it on a cliffhanger. I'm like, what cliffhanger?
There's going to be a new season. It's a cliffhanger. I like it.
So the first question or observation that you may have some, we can doodle it or doodle a little bit around is,
Doodling.
you know, you have, you're looking forward to something. It's an event. It's a vacation.
Yep.
It's your wedding. It's I don't know, whatever. It's something you have pre-planned.
Some people like weddings so much they have to do it several times.
Yes. My God.
I just had to say that. Good. Yeah. So it's pre-planned. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a pre-planned thing that you're looking forward to. And
Hugh Jackman.
what the...
I'm just joking.
What has Hugh Jackman to do with this?
Well, you just saw the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah, but they do now.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
I mean, okay. Shockings. I'm straightening
Shopping
myself.
means
Shape
up.
Yeah, I'm shaping up.
They don't know that I watched Wolverine yesterday.
It's so amazing. I didn't get to see it. I missed it.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Can we do this?
Yeah.
Can you?
Let's do it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Trying again. So you have an event you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
It could be a wedding. It could be a vacation that you booked. Whatever. And then you're there. And then you start thinking about next week instead. So say you are at this wonderful resort that you have booked for half a year or a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you get there.
Mm-hmm.
And day two, you start thinking about you missing the dog at home. You're missing your kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
You're should do this when you get back to work. Shouldn't be using this. Should be doing that. And you're not able to be in that moment. And it's a moment you've been looking forward to for one of the things that I hear the most is the phrase, just looking forward to the weekend or just looking forward to the vacation. And then you get to the weekend and in the weekend you can only think about work for the next week.
Yeah.
Or you're in the vacation and you can only think about the work at home or maybe you should be at home instead of enjoying your resort.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're having your wedding, and the only thing you can think about is the cleanup after, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I notice it in myself because I've noticed that not always, but sometimes I get to something I've been looking forward to, and then all I can think about is how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I just went, that's very fascinating because I've been looking forward to this for, I don't know, say 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm there and I'm not able to be there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be there. And all I can think about is all the other places I could be.
Yeah.
Or the cleanup after.
Or the thing you had to do.
The thing I should do. Or the thing I need to do when I get home.
Yeah.
And I see that in other people as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not able to be in that moment.
Yep. True.
So what's that? How to fix that?
Well, the first thing is
thoughts around that.
They're different. There are different levels of distraction from the moment. right? There are physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual and philosophical reasons and worldview reasons to not be in the moment, actually. So some people's personal philosophy is they always have to be looking for the next thing, the next hot thing, and the next opportunity. So
Hence, multiple weddings.
yeah, hence multiple weddings. Exactly. So you have different reasons to not be in the moment. But in this society, the most popular one is to be addicted to your thoughts. And people are like, well, you think, therefore you are, no, you're thinking constantly. Your brain is constantly bringing things forward because in a sense, that's a type of creativity. Though most of the thoughts that you're having every day are the same thoughts, it's always looking for the danger, always worried about the cleanup, because always thinking about how you're going to have to take responsibility or the danger of something or worrying about somebody. We get addicted to those patterns that we have, and our egos and our identities are a function of our thought processes, our mental constructs. Okay. So what that means is that if you're identified with your thinking will constantly run you. And if you have the pattern of constantly looking for what's next or the cleanup, because honestly, if you're worried about the cleanup, you're probably the person who's doing the what?
Cleanup.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, shit, they spilled the food. The person who's responsible for catering is constantly looking to make sure that everybody's getting the plate that they should have instead of enjoying the moment.
And say you have a wedding, you start actually thinking about, I need to organize those wedding presents.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, what am I do with all this stuff?
What am I going to do with how I'm going to place them? Instead of being very grateful people bought you stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's amazing.
You even wish those things most of the time because you made that list.
Exactly. And people buy this amazing car. It's the goal they have in their life. If you're a young man, you want this big hot car, you finally get it. But when you're sitting in it, you may enjoy driving it a little bit, but most of the time you spend in your car, you're daydreaming or worrying or projecting yourself into the future or remembering past traumas. And that's because we are addicted to our mind. We are identified with our thoughts. You are not your thoughts. If you have been at a flow state continuum weekend, you've learned moksha. If you come to the masterminds, you've learned moksha. Moksha is actually not meditainment. It's not the one you're going to get the big experiences of immediately, but it's the one that trains you to let go of that thought pattern that you're addicted to or that you think is you or that you're identified with. Let go of your emotional states, because some people are constantly going to find a reason to get angry. They're going to constantly find a reason to be sad. They're constantly find a reason to feel isolated or disrespected or whatever, because that's the pattern that they use to energize themselves, but that follows them everywhere. So the moksha meditations, the emptiness meditations, allow you to find that spot inside you that is clear and clean. Doesn't mean that you'll stop thinking or you stop having emotions, because a lot of people think that they're going to turn into some machine that just has no emotions and I do not think and my head is empty. No. Your head's still going to be filled with ideas. It's just that you can sit like in a storm and you're sitting in a cabin that's all warm and toasty and nice and you're looking out the window and you see the rain. Just because you have a cabin doesn't mean that it's going to stop raining. You're in this place of solitude and silence so that you can look at your thoughts and decide, oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Huh?
Such a nice cabin to be in.
It's a great cabin.
I love that cabin.
It is. And just for that moment, you can be in this place of reflection and observation and emotionally enjoy the moment. That's the only way to be in the moment. You have to have that skill. If you don't, you're going to constantly be kicking around. Fear comes from the future of what could happen. Traumas are in the past, which doesn't exist anymore. It's just the marks it's made on you. So if you can clear out the marks, or at least disattach your identity, I am that victim. I am that person who is a world champion. I am that. Free yourself from all the good and bad and be clear. so you can experience the freshness of the moment. That's the only way forward, friends. That is the only way for you to truly experience your children, truly experience your wedding, truly experience driving in that hot ass car that you finally got with all that work, is to be with it in that space. But as soon as you start identifying with your thoughts or your emotions or your body, that I am my thoughts, I am, then you're in trouble, because the mind is crazy. Emotions are unstable and magnetized, and the body is aging. That's true. So that meditation technique, moksha.
Yeah, because you use a lot, you lose a lot of the joy
Yeah,
with not being able to be in that moment that you've been looking forward to for that long.
exactly. And just use your mobile phone as an example. If you're listening and you've never gotten caught scrolling more than you actually decided, that you didn't just end up watching reels and go, shit, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes watching shit. If that's never happened to you, send us a message.
Yes, please.
We want to know who you are.
Because you're alien.
You're an alien.
We need to know what your secrets are.
Exactly. And the only algorithm that is more potent and more magnetic and more addictive than the mobile phone is your own head. Because you think that you should believe the things that you think. And it's just coming up with all kinds of trash constantly. And yeah, no, I'm always thinking logically. No, you aren't. You just don't realize that some of your thoughts, the way you perceive the things around you, are completely limited by the thought patterns that you've developed over a long life of random experiences. So moksha is the only way to clear yourself out, to find the cabin inside, so that you can enjoy that warm cacao as you watch the storm of your thoughts and emotions move past you, so you can enjoy the moment.
That was good.
Okay.
No, you
Yeah,
good?
I don't think I have more on my heart. I don't even think the Wolverine could do better for that. Yeah. Okay.
No. He's also aging.
Yes, he is. Even the Wolverine is aging.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyways, so then back to the question from one of our listeners.
Oh, bring it.
We're going into judgment. And by the way, I say this every time, but it is the truth. And it's I love when we get attention from listeners.
Yes.
I love it when we get questions.
Bring it.
So please send them. There is no stupid questions.
Nope.
There's no stupid questions.
Only stupid answers.
Yeah, and we have many of those. So come with them. If you do not know how to phrase them, send them anyways. I will help you phrase them. And if you are not a Norwegian citizen, if you're not an American citizen, and or have English as your first language, you can also write them in Norwegian, and I will translate.
Ooh,
so, please, do that. Because I just love them. So we have done a question about judgment.
So a loving spoonful of judgment.
A loving spoonful of judgment.
Let's bring it.
So it's about the non-judgmental observer.
Ooh.
And the question is how to move towards the non-judgmental observer.
Yes. Okay.
Let's just first let's identify what a non-judgmental observer is.
Would you like to do that, or would I?
You can just go ahead. I can come with my input.
Okay. In the integrated human, we talk about us working up, down, inside out. That means coming from universal consciousness to worldview, personal philosophies, our roles and identities, our ego, our emotions, our body, and then making those things align so that we can have the best possible effect in our lives. The only way for us to change something that we're getting in our outside world is to change the inside world, to change the way we perceive so that we see new options, so we can move better through the world. So if you wonder what we do at the Integrated Human, Kapowwow, that's what we do. We help you align yourself and integrate your human. Now, the non-judgmental observer is a very important state. We often simplify the human experience by first thinking that you are a seer yogi. You're a seer. You're a head person. Some people are beers. You're an emotional person. Some people are doers. They're physical. Okay? The reason why I bring that up is that the non-judgmental observer can be achieved through any one of those three areas. If you're a mental person, you have to find that beautiful cabin that we were talking about, that basically silent space inside you through a moksha meditation, for example, that emptiness meditation, Dokjen, which is what the Buddhists call it. The emptiness meditation will give you that silence and that non-attachment, that non-identification.
We're not triggered by everything that blows past you.
There's zero trigger. Literally, you're literally seeing things as
a rock is a rock.
Spontaneous.
It's not a tool to kill you.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that popped into my head.
What's that rock doing there? Don't they know I don't like rocks? Whatever. Or, oh my God, a rock.
Yeah.
It must be the nature spirit talking to me.
Yeah.
No,
it's a rock.
It's a rock. And there's no need to involve yourself with the rock. Then you can look at what is happening and you can divine, see, experience the mechanics of the universe, how things interrelate. That is the non-judgmental observer. Okay? That is the mental path. As soon as you start making a story up around things and are not just seeing action, reaction, consequence, as soon as you start relating it to your personal story, you're not partial anymore, or you're not impartial, you're not neutral.
You start to put meaning in.
Yeah, you put meanings on it, and you start to twist and turn it and add it to things.
Their judgment comes right in.
Exactly.
And you're gonna judge the rock for being too black or too red
big,
or too
or in
big
the wrong place, or
having a wrong angle,
and wondering who put it there, and if you're gonna stub your toe on it, and don't they know, and the whole thing. And this is what we're doing unconsciously almost constantly, because your past experiences, maybe you stubbed your toe on a rock and now you're worried about your toe and there's a rock there, and maybe what if you hadn't seen it, and oh my God, and you're paying a person to clear your path and they didn't do it, and whatever. The story that you're going to tell around it creates the judgment, because you start going, oh, it's going to hurt my toe and that person should have cleared it and I'm paying them money, they must be a bad person, and there it is. And the rock's good or bad because it's a danger or not a danger. No, it's just a rock. Okay, it's in the wrong place. Move it. Good, done. Easy. That's an evaluation. So judgment has to do with, is it good or bad? Evaluation has to do, is it useful or not useful? Is it an appropriate place for you moving forward or not? No, it's not inappropriate. Okay, we move it. Good, done. Easy. Imagine how much energy you save by being clear like that. You can walk through life and you can be extremely effective in your life and take on multiple businesses and handle hundreds of people a day and all that, because you're not triggered. You're not having to jump and squeeze and do unrealistic, mental yoga postures to fix the situation constantly.
But how then to do that without becoming a psychopath?
Well, that's the
because
whole...
that's the because of I know, because if you listen to the beginning here, we talk up, down, inside out. We actually evolve the heart here. Mm-hmm. But if you're if you're very simple out there, how do you not just kind of disengage from everything?
Yeah.
And not relate to it?
Yeah, that's interesting. Now let's talk about psychopathy, or a psychopath. A psychopath has no emotional connections and is interested in manipulating people for their own uses. But when you are a neutral observer, you are not interested in trying to use people for your own gain, because your own gain is part of your story.
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing. A psychopath doesn't have any emotional connection, but they will try to manipulate so that they get what they
What
want.
they want, yeah.
What they want is based on their story. And unfortunately, it's very, almost always very short-lived, you know? So
Yeah, you don't build relationships over time.
that's 100%.
Because you can't, relationships requires emotions.
Yeah, it requires emotion and empathy, and it requires you actually taking care of people and not lying.
Yeah, and
Because-
relating over time.
Yeah, and relating over time. That's why
If
you
you're a a-hole, no one wants to relate with you.
look at people. If they have people who are around them and who love them and that they're connected with, and are not terrified of them and shamed and crushed, and they're not basically manipulated into or pressured into relating. And that's the whole point, that if you can maintain relationships over a long period of time, you've solved some mysteries of the heart, right? Because people are up and down and they have their own needs and stories, and to be able to negotiate that, you have to have some kind of internal balance, communication, right? So the mind people, over time, when they have this place inside them that is a neutral observer, will start to love everybody. And they will, in the end, discover the highest peak of that relationship in their heart, which is unconditional love.
Because there's no judgment there.
There's no
because you're gonna
judgment.
love your child if it's swearing, or if it's cleaning up after yourself, if it's not cleaning up after yourself. You love your child,
Yeah.
no matter what, and
Yeah.
then everything becomes the child in a way.
Exactly. That's 100% correct. You cannot separate yourself from your environment. You cannot separate yourself from your environment.
I said in the Lion King, we're one.
Yeah,
Isn't it Lion King?
we are
I think
all
it's
one, right? We started jiu-jitsu training. I've been injured and I operated my hip, and I'm coming back, and I had my first mini official training yesterday. Marit and Rutger have been taking really good care of me. But what did I start with? I started with telling, well, this person is good at this and that person's good at this, and together we're a community. Because we are all different. We all have our different things, but we all also have our different brilliancies and our different capacities, and understanding that together we are whole. We are all together. We are all a part of that field of love. Doesn't mean that everybody's useful in every situation. One of the guys is a good accountant. And I said, you guys are here because he's doing our accounting. Isn't that amazing? Think about that you train because he does the accounting, and he's amazing at it. And he helps us. It's beautiful. I couldn't do this and do that. And he's making sure that happens well. And people don't think that way. They don't understand that it's this whole idea of connectivity is not an abstract idea. You literally have a workplace because people show up and work so that you can work.
When you go to the grocery store, you can take a grocery from the shelf into your not bag, you're not stealing, but into your basket. Cart.
Yeah, not your pockets.
In the pockets.
Not your pockets, yeah.
You shouldn't steal.
Yes. Yeah.
If you do it, it's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
Bless you, but you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
So
Yeah.
not in your pocket, in your cart.
In your cart.
Because someone put it there.
Yeah. Oh, and maybe 20 people put it there.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the person who grew it, the person who picked it, the person who transported it to the airplane, the pilots and the people who loaded and unloaded and flew it all the way to your country, the people who have it in the central and put it in a warehouse. They put it on another truck and it's trucked out to the grocery store, and they put it on the shelf. And I've missed 20 people there.
Yeah.
I mean, each apple is literally handled by over 20 people before you put it in your mouth. You should probably wash them. Not to say that people are dirty, but it's been transported,
It's been transported.
Yeah. And think about the miracle, and that's taking the planet and all the forces of nature that created it as well out of it. It's crazy how integrated we are, but we just think about how fucking expensive that apple is.
And even when we you say we're getting more isolated,
Yeah.
then well, even if you buy takeaway,
Yeah.
you are communicating with someone on the other line. Someone is packing your groceries.
Yeah.
Someone is delivering it to the door. Even
Yeah.
if you don't touch them and see them, you are interconnected. So are you actually lonely?
and we getting pissed off because you're getting fat because you're eating too much. That's another thing. We start to hate the food in society as well. I'm actually talking about myself because I haven't been able to work out that much and I still like to eat. So I may have gained a couple of kilos, but I don't hate the food. And I actually don't hate myself for doing that because I understand my situation. So we live in a field of love. Everything's connected, which means the emotion that's most aligned with being connected is what?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. We are all in a field of love. And that is at every single level. The only thing that separates us is our head, is our thinking that we are not connected. And that gets us in trouble. That's the problem, that the non-judgmental, the observer, that place of reflection, it fixes it. It helps you see the whole and how things interrelate. You walk on the streets because of people. You have a house because of people. And all we're talking about often is how hard we work and how little we get paid and how we don't get enough back. You get to be in a place where you can make money. That's crazy. All the things that must happen for that to happen. And just to take a moment, I don't really, focus that much on my gratefulness because, I don't have that much, I work hard. The fact that you can work hard and that you have a place to work hard and you have people to work hard with and or on is a miracle. Everybody's cooperating so that you can do your thing, regardless of what it is. Taking care of people, talking, washing, number crunching, God bless, showing up. It's humbling. It's humbling. It's how can we not be grateful for all of the things that are given to us so that we can do our thing? And somehow in all of this love and all of this connectivity, we make the mistake of focusing on the lack or the pain only. It's not that you should ignore the pain. That's part of love. That's part of information, right? So, and am I actually talking to you guys or am I talking to myself like this? This is how I talk to myself to remind myself about the truth of love, the truth of all of the amazing things that show up for me every fucking day.
We have pushed that button
already.
We pushed that button. We are not child friendly.
We're not PG-13. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Every day I show up and I'm so humbled.
You guys will not believe it. When we drove from Sweden last week, I don't know, from Sweden to Norway, it was a long ride. We used 12 hours. I think you said, life is so amazing, Marit.
Yeah, life is so amazing, Marit.
I think you said it 25 times.
Yeah.
I'm going to choke him now.
We're driving a car.
I heard you.
My butt hurts. It's stiff. Yeah. That was actually pretty cool. We were in Sweden at Ängsbacka during the Ecstatica Festival. And we helped over 200 people find their innate inborn tremor reflex. We met David Berselli, who's the inventor and or discoverer of tension and trauma releasing exercises, who is going to be on a podcast with us, hopefully. And we've gotten to spend a lot of time with him. The Integrated Humans showed up and did giant sessions there, and people were loving us. And we'd love to do it. So shout out to all you people at Ängsbacka, all of our international people who loved what we're doing. We appreciate you a lot. But again, driving in the car, life, Marit, is amazing. She looked at him, she's going to strangle me.
Yeah, you sometimes just take it, I can't quite follow you. So. But back to the question we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I'm trying kind of to get into the question, but every time I look at you, you just go somewhere else again. I'm like, come on.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so
because
you have the non-judgmental from the rock that we kind of started with, but then which I think is the kind of the in Norwegian you say the raisin in the bun.
Ooh, the raisin in the bun makes me want buns. But I understand what you mean. The issue, the center of the issue. Okay.
That is, because now we talked about the rock, which is in the outside.
Yeah.
But judgment, I believe we judge ourselves more than we judge the rock.
Many of us do. It's a way that we relate to ourselves. That's a good
How many
nuance.
times don't you? The rock is one thing; it's on the outside. But and like we said in the beginning today, is that to change the outside, you need to change the inside.
Yeah.
So if I just change my relationship to the rock, that's good.
Yeah.
But I haven't necessarily changed my relationship to me. And if I change my relationship to me, the rock's gonna also be much easier, I believe, and find myself.
Yeah.
So, because how many times don't we judge ourselves from not showing up on time, oversleeping, could have done more, should have done more, should have done something different.
Yeah. We don't look a certain way.
We don't look a certain way. We don't do enough, although we do more than enough. It's impossible to do more than what you're doing. But still, you're still hammering yourself because it's not enough.
So do you want the easy or the hard answer to that?
Let's do the easy first, and then we'll see if I want the hard one after.
Okay. Because all of those things are directly related to your story. That's the important thing. And you're like, what you talking about, Jason? Whether it's enough or not enough, who's deciding that?
You are.
So it's a part of the way you think and perceive, which is a part of your
Personal philosophy. And
yes, and which makes your story. Your story. Your storytelling.
So you're telling yourself it isn't good enough.
It's not I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. I don't look good enough. I'm not it's not the way it should be.
Because the interesting part there is that and because I found that in myself. So I found it in others because I usually go inside and then I attack people with it after.
Yeah.
But that was that if I get asked, so what more can you do? Often I didn't have any answer for it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do more.
You couldn't have done more.
And then I found if I have the answer, I could do this. Then I just do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if that's the case, that thought disappear. But if I'm not training enough, just say that.
Okay.
Or not showing up enough. First of all, what does showing up mean?
Yeah.
And how can you show up more? Do you have more hours? No. Are you showing up all that you're capable to do? Yes. So how can you say to yourself that you're not showing up enough? But what?
That's such a genius thing you're doing right there because you're having a dialogue. You're reflecting on yourself, self-reflection. But most people don't defend themselves. That's great. That's great self-defense. You defending yourself against yourself by asking yourself those questions. But most people just judge themselves and don't ask any questions.
They just say
it's never enough.
It's never enough. I should have done more.
I'm never good enough, never slim enough, never rich enough, never perfect enough. According to who? Your story? Well, society. That's a story.
The interesting part here was because this is very what the inner judgment is that so say that you said that I'm gonna start a club.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this club.
Yep.
And the club's gonna start. Well, thank you. It's gonna start. It's called Integrated Human Club. But I'm gonna start this club.
I'm definitely joining.
I'm gonna start this club, and it's gonna start the 15th of. It's gonna start August 15th.
Yep.
And now today it's August 8th.
Yep.
I've had this plan for 2 months. I haven't done anything yet.
Booyah shaka.
I don't know why you said that.
I just said that because you're obviously waiting for the universe just to provide you with unrealistic
but okay,
shit.
So I said for 2 months I made a plan. I know what to do. I've said I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
It's August 8th. So I have less than 8. Now how many days do I have left?
Yeah, 7 days.
Okay, thank you. I have 7 days left.
Yeah.
Is it time to start judging myself right now, or should I just figure out why I haven't done it? Because did I even want to start the club?
You see?
Or is it the idea of starting the club? Because that's the issue. Because I can judge myself. Either I just love hating myself.
Yes.
And being angry at myself.
Addicted to that.
Which means that I will make a lot of plans, tell people about it, but not do it.
And then shame yourself.
And then shame myself for not doing it.
Yeah.
Or I can figure out, do I actually want to have a club? Because if I have a club, I have people.
Yep.
I need to handle people.
Yep.
I need to show up.
Yep.
Because if I don't show up, since I'm a club leader, I kind of need to show up to have in the club house.
Yeah.
I need to have. I need to be present and smiley and make schedules.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't want to do all of that and have the responsibility for taking care of people because they come to my club to do this club thing,
Yes.
then if I actually don't want that, then I'm just going to self-sabotage. Am I not?
It's possible,
Or-
yes.
Or I'm going to use this opportunity because I really like hating myself to just judge myself
Yes.
really hard.
Yeah. Or there's one other option. You learn.
Yeah, but then you need to ask the questions, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's it. At some point, you have to ask yourself,
Why do I constantly say
why
I
is my
want to do
stuff not
something?
working? Why is my stuff not working?
Yeah. Why don't I get the things that I'm saying I want to?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why do I keep doing this to myself and ending up in the judge? Why do I keep judging myself over and over and over again? Do I actually like it?
Yeah. And there's this thing, I was having a conversation with David Berselli, and he asked me, so, when you have universal consciousness and you have pure awareness, then you should know everything. And I said, no, because knowledge and awareness are two different things. Awareness is waking up and realizing that you can actually look at things, but knowledge is understanding things through experience. Because you can't expect a baby to understand college level material. Does that make sense? So if you've never started a club before, you don't know the mechanics of starting a club. So you have to understand that anything worth starting is worth starting shitty. Because you don't know. You don't know how things, you don't know before you know. And you don't know how things are connected and how things work. And there's another aspect. Now, this is very important stuff, guys, because this is really the mechanics of the mind and life. There's another thing. The Jason that was before my hip injury and before my surgery had a completely different level of strength, resilience, capacity than I do right now in my recovery. I had a major surgery and I'm recovering. So the ideas that I had of what I was capable of before I was operated, even though I had pain, weren't correct for the way I am while I'm recovering, because it's taken a lot more emotional, spiritual energy from me to recover from a surgery than I had expected, because I've never had a surgery before. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Oh, it's me. We're good, because I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. I've competed in world championships with fractured ribs and fingers and a broken hip. I literally won fights in a world championship with a fractured femur. Total fracture. How's that somehow demanding less energy from me than the recovery process from an operation? But it does. So I can set all kinds of plans in the future, but I don't know how I'm going to show up on that day. Now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't make future plans. It's not that. But you have to understand that the actual event is based on all kinds of factors. And that's knowledge. That's giving yourself room. That's understanding true mechanics of the universe. But if I have those unrealistic expectations of myself, and then I perform, and I perform less than I thought, if I don't have any kind of self-defense, if I don't ask myself questions, then I can end up hating myself. And if I'm addicted to hating myself, I hate myself, and then my ability to perform what?
Goes down.
It goes down. But if I accept myself in the situation, like, okay, it's not happening that way. Obviously, the constellation is not what I had expected. And I don't spend any time hating myself, but I use that energy in order to build my capacity again and move forward, then my ability to perform what?
Goes up.
And I learn. I learn about myself. I learn about other people that may be in the same situation. And I also learn tolerance. I learn to be compassionate to other people because maybe they have some shit going on.
Most likely did.
They most likely do, because everybody's doing the best they can, including you.
Because you're doing great.
You're doing great. And that's the process of gaining knowledge in the world. So pure awareness is not knowing everything all at once. It's more like it's the ability to see clearly, to see cleanly. So again, we talked about being a seer, a head person, or a beer, an emotional person, and having that unconditional love. And then it's the doers. And
We have a little bit of
a time
we
crunch.
we actually have to. Training is starting. So,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. But you see, okay. But that's,
sitting at.
yeah. We'll get back to the.
We're
to
going to
the
go back
doers
to
later.
this.
Yeah.
But if you have questions regarding this, again, please send them to us.
Send them to us.
We love them.
Send
We
them
do
to
love
Marit at integrated-human.com.
Yes, or send us a
DM,
DM or whatever. Even birds. What is it called? Pigeons.
Pigeons. Yeah, send it by
Pigeons.
pigeon if you
Send
have
it for
to.
pigeons.
Yeah, or
You know
a crow if you're a witchy poo.
Yeah, well, I accept
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So we're open for it.
That's it.
And then, because we have to finish off with this, and that is that we have extended our early bird price
Yes.
for the Flow State Continuum weekend. And we really would like to have, it's going to be a very good weekend. The theme is going to be how to solve self-sabotage.
Ooh, solving self-sabotage. If you want to learn how to solve your self-sabotage and help other people solve theirs.
You know, if we're starting to get to the fall, and if you ever said, I'm going to start after the summer, or I'm going to start on Monday, or if you ever wanted to start a club, but then you didn't.
Or starting a project inside.
Or starting something and that doesn't happen, or you try a diet and you fail, or you try to start training and you can't follow through. Well, it's a reason for it. So we're going to go deep, and we're going to find that you're going to be able to discover some of these blockages, and then we're going to use by some techniques. One of them going to be Soma breath. It means that we're going to charge up the body, charge up your energy, so you can actually do that transformation. Because as Jason said before, you need to attack it from the level above, and we need to have a higher energy to make the transition. You will not get change by going, I kind of want to do it. It would be nice one day. You're going to get the change by, I'm going to do it. And we're going to do it together, which means that we hold each other up and we're going to burst through. So it's going to be an amazing weekend.
So during the fall, you're going to make it your rise.
Yes. So it's the early bird is extended until August 16th. The event is here in Voss, 6th, 7th, and 8th of September.
Yep.
If you have any questions, please send us a message and we will answer you.
Nice. So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day, and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.